Eskimos prepare to take on the Saskatchewan Roughriders here at Taylor Field, a rematch of last year's Western Final, and the teams have been close so far this season, splitting their first two meetings. Welcome to Regina and what should be a great CFL game between the Eskimos and the Roughriders.
Saskatchewan Roughriders need a win here today, but it may be a little bit difficult because the starting offense has been riddled by injuries. The #1 quarterback is out, and also two great receivers, both inside receivers. So the Eskimos will face a couple of newcomers out there today.
A couple of rookies starting at the slot back positions, David Pitcher and Bruce Boyko. Not a lot of experience between the two, but they have to try and fill the void. Jeff Bentram gets another chance at quarterback today. He has not played well this year, and hopefully this afternoon he will get things on track against a pretty tough defense.
Now Edmonton will introduce a newcomer today, although he's very familiar to Canadian Football League fans, as Larry Willis will suit up for Edmonton for the first time.
Well, when Larry Willis is happy playing the game, he can be one of the best in the league. He wasn't happy with the BC Lions. That was evident. Bob Abilovich sat him down and then finally traded him. The Eskimos need a weapon with Reggie Taylor out of the lineup and the Gizmo out of the lineup. Maybe Larry Willis can fill a bit of the void. I know one thing. He'll be happy playing on a team that has a shot at the Grey Cup.
Well, the Edmonton Eskimos have not looked good over the past couple of weeks. They have lost 2 in a row. We'll see if they can bounce back and win one here at Taylor Field this afternoon. Gordon?
And the Edmonton Eskimos haven't lost 3 straight games since the 1982 season. It promises to be a classic. It's the Green Riders against the Green and Gold on the Molson CFL Game of the Week. The kickoff is next from Taylor Field.
Taylor Field, Regina. The Eskimos have not won here since 1987. The hometown Roughriders have now won 4 in a row at home. David Ewell of Calgary will be in charge of proceedings this afternoon. He is a 10-year CFL officiating veteran. Bill Wright, Ross Hutchinson, Bruce Schwinder, Bernie Fresco, and Turk Tritney will be the other game officials for this one here this afternoon. Set to get underway with a breeze favoring the Saskatchewan Roughriders. The opening kickoff goes to Todd Smith. And Smith is up near the 30 to the 29-yard line. Stopped there by Dan Rasevich. A 17-yard return. Up front for the Eskimos offensively, Dermott and Bowles are the tackles. Verschoval McConnell inside at guard, and Rod Conniff is the center. Larry Willis makes his first start for the Eskimos at wide receiver, and Wright is on the other side. Inside it is Ellison Smith, and the starting quarterback, as usual, is Tracy Ham. 2 Canadian runners for Ham today, Souls and Blake Marshall. On first down, Michael Souls, first carry of the ball game. And he gets better than 5 yards, 5 and a bit. Mark it at 7 yards the game. Defensively for Saskatchewan, veterans up front, Leaf.
Well, Vince Goldsmith and Bobby Jurist in the ends. Chuck Klingbeil is playing with a broken toe, and if you don't think that's tough, try it sometime. Dave Albright back in the middle. That defensive secondary has been together pretty near the whole season. I think Albert Brown, the only one to miss a game.
2nd and 3 for the Eskimos, and Blake Marshall charges through. I don't think he got the first down. Rasevich in on the tackle once more. Just a perfect afternoon for football at Taylor Field. And on third down, Ray McAreedy, averaging 42.6. Will punt into a stiff wind. Nice snap. McAreedy got it away and kept it low. Taken by Brown at midfield. And Brown comes up with a pretty decent return to give Saskatchewan excellent field position. Albert Brown sets it up. Short kick by McAreedy. 14-yard return. Offensively for the Roughriders, the veteran group up front. Moore, Stevenson, Aldag. Foley are the guards. Anderson at center. Outside, Don Narcisse and Greg Harris. Inside, the newcomers, Pitcher and Boyko. Jeff Bentram, his 2nd straight start at quarterback. And the runners, Lucius Floyd and Milson Jones. Number 43 on first down, tipped. Boyko is the intended receiver.
Boy,
Jeff Braswell.
Oh, he should have had that one, and had Jeff Braswell been able to make that interception, he would have scored easily. Nobody around him. Whoa, he would like to have that one again. That is the defense that Jeff Bentrim will face this afternoon. Stuart Hill having another outstanding year. Defensive end, the linebacking core is good as any in the league. And when you look at the two corners, Andre Francis and Keith Gooch, they too are having excellent seasons.
This is 2nd and 10, Saskatchewan at the 43. Bentrim with time to throw. Now has to get out of there. And Bentrim comes up with a first down. He needed 10, and the toaster, Brent Williams, got over to make the tackle.
Well, this is what we talked about in our meeting with John Gregory yesterday, the fact that Jeff Bentrim has to run the football himself to be successful as a quarterback. He is not a Kent Austin that can stand back tall in the pocket and release that ball downfield to all his receivers. He has to run with it and try and make some things happen on his own, and initially, in the first series of the game, he is able to do that and generate some offense.
An 11-yard gain. This is 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. Orville Lee carrying that time. Lee came in for Wilson Jones.
No, John, let's take that one step further. When we did talk to John Gregory, he indicated that, yes, he did want Jeff Bentrim to run, and he has encouraged him to do so. So it's not something where they say, you know, if you get a chance, go there. He said, let's make that a part of our offense.
Gain of 6 for Orville Lee. This is 2nd and 4, Saskatchewan at the 26 of Edmonton. This is Lucius Floyd. Be another Saskatchewan first down as Floyd crosses the 20. 4-yard gain. Good start for the Roughriders, who have had to make some adjustments offensively this week.
Well, with the two slot backs, Jeff Fairholm and Ray Elgart not playing, I mean, that puts a lot of pressure on the other guys. Not only the two rookies starting in their pitcher and Bruce Boyko today, but I think a guy like Lucius Floyd, who is back in the lineup after missing a game, he has to have an outstanding year. He's great out of the backfield catching the football. Well, I'd be shocked if Jeff Bentrim didn't use him a lot.
1st and 10 from the 22, and Larry Ruck almost had an interception. That's 2 close calls for Bentrim.
I think that's one of the greatest features that the Edmonton Eskimo linebacking group has, is that ability at the snap of the ball to recognize pass and get out of there in a hurry and into the pass lanes. Larry Ruck there, that time the ball was snapped, he turned and ran to his spot, and as he turned around, they were trying to hit the quick post, but he was there to knock it down.
Early in the opening quarter, no scoring yet. 2nd and 10, Saskatchewan. At the Edmonton 22, Bentrim had a man open, and pitcher might have been a little confused.
Well, Jeff Bentrim recognized what was happening. Number 13, Mark Mathis, was blitzing from his halfback spot on the short side. That means the middle is open, and you go to the quick post. He recognized it perfectly. Only trouble is he wasn't able to connect. They will have to make some hay here in the first quarter because that wind is really strong, and you know that Jeff Bentrim would like to score some points early and take advantage of that wind situation.
Dave Ridgway will get the first opportunity on the kickers matchup today. Ridgway does not miss often. A 29-yard field goal for Dave Ridgway, who's been hitting on 80% so far this season.
The robo kicker puts one through. The Saskatchewan Roughriders off to a 3-0 early lead. And, of course, with that strong wind, no question the Edmonton Eskimos will choose to scrimmage from their own 35 and instead of letting Ridgway try to pin them deep. I think it's going to be a factor this afternoon just to see how much they do miss Reggie Taylor. I was always a believer that he was the biggest part of their offense. And now with Michael Souls and Blake Marshall in the backfield, we'll see whether they can handle the job.
This is Michael Souls. Stopped by Eddie Lowe and Bobby Jurison.
The numbers for the numbers for Tracy Ham, very impressive this year. Those 33 touchdown passes. Boy, you can't do it any better than he's done.
2nd and 7 Eskimos at the Edmonton 38. Some pressure on Ham by Lewis. Gets away, but can't avoid it all. As Hairston comes up from his cornerback spot to stop Tracy Ham.
Stacey Hairston, the only rookie to crack the starting lineup with the Saskatchewan Roughriders in 1990, does a nice job from Ohio Northern in the Ohio Valley Conference.
Fastest player on the team.
Yes, he is. And that's the kind of guy you have to track a Tracy Ham down. Great runner, Tracy Ham, with an outside shot to go over 1,000 yards rushing himself. Comes into this game with a little over 800. Oh, he still has a chance to do it.
McEready into the wind. Albert Brown on the return for Saskatchewan. Being tracked down, and he has lost substantial yardage. Can he get a block to get away? What a great return by Albert Brown, who almost sprung it all the way. The tackle made by Rob Davidson, number 96. Looked bleak for a minute, but finally he found some running room.
Well, he has so much confidence in his speed and ability to get away from some guys that he's willing to give up that kind of ground to maybe get a wall formed. There's a great block by Glenn Suter there. Orville Lee got a good block in, and boy, if it were not for Rob Davidson right there, he had a chance to go all the way.
All that running, and he'll only get credit for a 17-yard return on a 32-yard.
Yeah, but it looked good, though.
It certainly did.
Sure.
3-0 Rough Riders.
Andre Francis, one of the premier cornerbacks in the league, will be working against Darden Narcisse this afternoon. It's an interesting matchup. We talked to him about it.
Well, yes, it is a good matchup for me against Narcisse. I feel he's one of the guys that match up better against me because to beat me, you have to be prepared to make the acrobatic catch, the great clutch catch, and he's the type. He's a very excited receiver, and he always looks forward to leaving his feet and making the highlight acrobatic catch, and that's what he'll have to do to beat me.
Well, I thought those were interesting comments because Andre Francis likes to come up and challenge a receiver, play very, very tight to him. So what he says makes sense. You know, if Narcisse can make an acrobatic catch over me, you know, that's how you beat me. And do you think he's got those sunglasses on under the helmet? I don't know.
I don't think he's wearing them there. Loose ball.
He's a character.
It sounds like he's ready for this one.
I don't know. He likes a good matchup. I mean, he's one of the premier one-on-one guys in the league, and boy, Don Narcisse is having another outstanding season. Probably this afternoon, he needs 50 yards to go over 1,000. So we will follow that matchup for you throughout the course of this game and see how it develops.
It'll be 2nd and 10. Saskatchewan. The Rough Riders at the 53 of Edmonton. Early movement down there, and a flag does come down. Bentram with time to throw, and a mix-up down there. Boyko was as close as anyone.
Offside. Edmonton number 91. 2nd down repeated.
The Toaster got a bit of a head start. Well, he's got a good matchup this afternoon against Roger Aldag, too. We're going to find out about that one a little later on.
This will be 2nd and 5, Saskatchewan. Bentram under some pressure by Hill, and Bentram gets a couple of yards. That's it on 2nd down.
You know, when you look at Jeff Bentram, he's the kind of quarterback that really likes to use his backs and inside receivers. Now, he's got a problem today because Elgard and Fairholm aren't playing, so I think if he's going to have success, number one, we've already indicated he has to run himself with the football, but number two, he has to get the ball to Don Narcisse or Greg Harris and take his chances against the Edmonton corners, because I don't think with Pitcher and Boyko in there, I don't think you're going to win the ball game with those guys.
We're in Ridgeway range here from 47 yards away with Suter holding Ridgeway. His 2nd try of the day, and dead center once more. A 47-yarder for Dave Ridgeway. He is Mr. Automatic, isn't he?
Well, he sure is, and that's a nice thing for a quarterback. You know, once you're across into the other team's territory, you don't have to get in there too far before you have an opportunity to score points with a consistent kicker like Ridgeway. So a quarterback like Bentram, I think that makes things a little easier.
David Ridgeway on target for a CFL record this year with 4 games to go. He's got 6 points here so far this afternoon.
I talked to Dave before the game, and he did give a lot of credit for his success to his holder, Glenn Suter. And boy, as a former holder, I know that job. You can only do things wrong, so I think Glenn Suter does a great job for him.
Eskimo 1st down, beginning at the 35. Here's Tracy Hand, and he's out to the 40. Jurison makes the stop after a 5-yard gain. Jurison has had some success against the Rough Riders this season. 3 sacks one afternoon.
Well, you measure a defensive lineman or any player, and you talk about his consistency. Now, how's this? 65 sacks in 75 games he's played as a Rough Rider. I would say that's pretty consistent.
Very consistent. 2nd and 5, Edmonton from the 40. Tracy Hand with time. First completion over the middle. And Craig Ellis is there to make the catch at the 50 for an Edmonton 1st down. Some kind of year number 33 is having.
Oh, Leader in catches coming into this game. Actually, he's 84th on the year. I mean, you know, we know he can do those kind of numbers. And Tracy Ham, if he can get protection, good protection up front, nice job by Blake Dermott on Bobby Jurison. I mean, he can throw into this win. That's not a problem.
That's Willis's first catch as an Eskimo for a couple of yards. Richie Hall made the stop on Larry Willis.
It's a great play if you can get that first initial block. And Richie Hall was the guy they tried to block there, and he just came right off it and made the good tackle and held that to just about a 3-yard gain. Larry Willis, listen, when he's right and he's happy, he's one of the best in the league. There's no doubt about that. He was in BC, and I don't think he was too happy there. I'm sure he's a little happier over playing for the green and white guys now, or the gold guys.
The green and gold guys?
Yeah.
Well, on this side of the field.
A lot of green around here.
Easily mistaken down there. A 12-yard reception for Larry Willis, who Joe Farragelli thinks will make quite a difference as an outside threat on the other side on this football team.
Well, he said he had to find somebody to allow teams not to double cover Craig Ellis inside, and I think by putting Willis and Craig Ellis on the same side, he will achieve that. Teams cannot focus strictly on Craig Ellis now.
Another Eskimo first down, and there's early movement, and flags come down. Like Blake Dermott might have moved a little bit early down there on the Eskimo offensive line.
Illegal procedure. Edmonton number 50. First down repeated.
5:37 to go in the opening quarter at Taylor Field. Great afternoon for it, considering we're on the 14th of October. There have been colder mid-October afternoons in Saskatchewan.
That's for sure.
It's a lovely day. First and 15, and Ham is off target. I think Todd Smith was the intended receiver that time. And Suter of the Roughriders was likely closer to the ball than anyone.
Todd Smith is the newcomer in that receiving corps at the slot back. Now, he was in a hole in the zone coverage. Now, when you find yourself in a zone, in a hole, you want to stay there. He ran through it, and I think that's what Tracy Ham was trying to indicate to him afterwards. When you get in that zone and you're in an open spot, you just stay there.
Second and 15 for the Eskimos now as they head into a stiff breeze, trailing the Roughriders 6-0 in the opening quarter. Ham elects to carry himself. He is well short of the first down. Albert Brown moved over and wrestled him out. Really no urgency to it at all. His Ham was about 8 yards short of the first down.
Well, the most difficult decision that defensive backs and linebackers have to make is when do I leave my guy and try and come up and threaten the quarterback that's going to run with it. And this is what Albert Brown finally made the right decision. He came up and he'll force Tracy Ham out of bounds, but that is tough. Make that decision. When do I leave my guy and come up and try and make a tackle?
With the breeze definitely out of field goal range for Ray McAreedy, who stands on his side of midfield. Too deep for the Roughriders. Bad snap. He got it away. This one is not deep. And Treflin may be called for roughing the kicker. There are flags everywhere. In the area of the kick and in the area of the reception.
Hold up! Hold up! God damn it! Get on the side. Come on back! Wait till I tell you. 2 penalties there.
Get a little play-by-play description from Joe Farragelli on the sideline.
Yeah, you got fucking no yard.
Contacting the kicker. Saskatchewan number 21. No yards. Edmonton. Third down repeated.
Offsetting 10-yard penalties, and we'll stay at third down. Referee kick the thing, correct? Just say yes.
Yes.
Supposed to be paying attention to me.
Well, I was waiting for this replay because, you know, I think the rule is if you break your normal rhythm as a kicker, you're fair game. But obviously they didn't see it that way.
And this works out a little bit better for the Eskimos. McAreedy's kick taken by Greg Harris, and he's to the 30-yard line. 4:16 to play in the opening quarter at Taylor Field, Regina. The hometown Roughriders lead the way on 2 early field goals.
Well, Donald Narcisse is having an excellent year for the Western Riders, and it's a great matchup against Andre Francis today, and we talked to him about that.
Well, Andre is a real good defensive back. I've been playing against him for a whole year, and it's been real hard. He's the guy that won't let you beat him deep. I think in order for me to beat him, I got to go with my intermediate routes and then set him up for the big game. And we're looking for a big play out of the receivers. You know, I'm the only veteran receiver that we have, so I got to give our big play to motivate our teammates.
Well, he does make a good point because of the young guys playing the slots. You know, he has to be counted upon, but that is a great matchup. And I think if you listen to the Andre Francis clip and the Narcisse clip, they both have a tremendous amount of respect for each other.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan, as Bentram has his pass batted down. He was looking for Milson Jones, and Mike Walker got a paw on it.
That's a great combination in the middle, isn't it? The toaster, Brett Williams, number 91, and number 61, Mike Walker. And there you see them working a little stunt over the middle. In fact, it might be number 91, the toaster, that got the big mitts up there. That's tough. 91-61, you know.
Bentram is 0 for 4 passing this afternoon. He tries again here and has a first down. Greg Harris made the catch. And a 13-yard gain.
That's a good catch by Greg Harris. His 4th game starting at the wide receiver spot. He took over from Mark Guy, who's still out with the injury. He's a rookie, only a little guy, 5'7", 176 pounds. But we talked about keys for Bentram this afternoon, and I honestly believe one of them is he has to get to the ball to the wide receivers, Greg Harris and Don Narcisse.
1st and 10 for the Roughriders, leading 6-0. The 43, Bentram over the middle, and Narcisse was the intended receiver. Andre Francis with him step for step.
Andre will be in your hip pocket most of the day. You can count on that. Don Narcisse, 50 yards away from another 1,000-yard season. .305 to go in the opening quarter. The Roughriders in front of the Eskimos on 2 Dave Ridgway field goals. It's 6-0 at Taylor Field. This is 2nd and 10. The drive to Wilson Jones. Good for a couple, but the Roughriders will be kicking. Saskatchewan can clinch a playoff spot with a victory today or a BC loss. I like their chances of getting in the playoffs.
Pretty solid right now.
Well, 7 points up on the Lions.
Mike Lazecki. First punt of the afternoon. Lazecki with the breeze. Testing the 35K. Todd Smith in the return for the Eskimos. Gets away from Boyko. And is brought down by Lucius Floyd, number 31. So the Eskimos will have first down. When we return, Saskatchewan leads the way 6-0 in the first. Mike Riley deserves congratulations for a terrific job. The Bombers, I think, are the best team in football right now.
Oh, yeah.
No question. Michael Souls on this run for the Eskimos. Eddie Lowe is there, so is Bobby Jurison. Gain of 2.
Michael Souls really a fullback in the scheme of things with the Edmonton Eskimos. He's being asked now to play the running back spot. It takes a little longer to get to the holes for running back. Fullbacks usually on the quick hitters, but Michael Souls was worrying whether he would have enough speed to fill that running back spot, and over the next few games we will find that out.
Goes to the air and has a first down out at the 50-yard line. Keith Wright makes the catch. He was tackled immediately by Stacy Hairston, a 16-yard gain.
Well, with this reception, Keith Wright equals his totals from last year with 44 in the season, so he is off and will have his best year as a Edmonton Eskimo. See, the wind really not a factor when Tracy Ham's throwing the football. He has a strong arm. Reflecting in those 33 touchdown passes he's been able to throw, the leading quarterback in that department.
Michael Souls, the ball carrier once more. And it's tough running against a pretty good defense for Saskatchewan. Pretty good matchup, that Rough Rider defensive line against the Eskimo offensive line.
Well, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, who thought they were out of things? Now they take over sole possession of the 3rd and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference with that win.
It's 2 in a row for the Tiger Cats. This is Michael Souls, and he'll have a first down. He gets inside the 50 of the Saskatchewan Roughriders with 20 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. 10-yard gain. First and 10 for the Eskimos at the Saskatchewan 49. And Tracy Ham slipped, actually, Lee. He just ran a little too quickly and couldn't make the cuts. That is the end of the opening quarter at Taylor Field with the Roughriders leading the way. So far, it's 6-0 Saskatchewan. Back live in our TSN Game of the Week from Taylor Field, Regina. 2nd and 11 for the Eskimos. First play of the second quarter. To the far side, Tracy Ham on target for Keith Wright. And that'll be another Eskimo first down. Albert Brown over to make the tackle.
The Eskimos got more yards, but the Riders got all the points. The Eskimos outgained them 67-42, but the Riders kicked a couple of field goals. Maybe disappointing with that wind at their backs. Now the Eskimos have the breeze. Richie Hall has a bruised chest. The doctors say he's having a little pain breathing, but he should be back.
Tracy Ham on first down, right to the near side this time.
Well, now that the teams have switched sides and the Edmonton Eskimos get to work with the wind, the Saskatchewan corners, Albert Brown and Stacey Harrison, are giving the two wide receivers of the Eskimos, Willis and Wright, a heck of a lot of room. And so far, Tracy Ham taking advantage of that. I mean, that wasn't a great throw, but still in plenty of time to get there to Keith Wright.
Michael Souls on first down. Is surrounded. Dan Rasevich leading the tacklers for Saskatchewan that time, number 74. John Gregory, fourth-year head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. His record 32-35-1. The big game, the big season last year. Breakup win. This is Blake Marshall. Marshall with a head of steam, bowls his way to the 10-yard line. 50 little 15-yard gain, stopped by Eddie Lowe.
Well, a sign of maturity from Tracy Ham back in the pocket. If the linebackers are going to drop off deep on 2nd and long in their zone coverage, you have to take advantage and go underneath that. He's able to do so with Blake Marshall. He makes a nice catch, and he is a load to bring down at 6'1", 230 pounds when he gets up ahead of steam. And that's a nice first down, and they have a good march going here.
First and goal to go for the Eskimos, the Saskatchewan 9. And rolling to his right. Decides to go himself and dives across the 5. He's down to about the 3. Dave Albright, Eddie Lowe there to make the stop on Tracy Ham.
Well, that's the extra dimension that the Edmonton Eskimos always have with their offense, especially on the rollout for Tracy Ham. The receiver's covered. He's able to tuck it in and run with it. He's got 6 yards, and boy, that is a great dimension to have.
Second and goal now. From the 4, flags are down. Some early movement from the Roughriders. And Souls is into the end zone for the touchdown. Nice little toss from Tracy Ham. And it looked like the Roughriders were moving early there, so we'll see what the penalty was.
Offside. Saskatchewan number 70, declined, touchdown.
The veteran Vince Goldsmith called, and the Roughriders give up the first touchdown of the game early in the second quarter.
Oh, big catch for Michael Souls. That's his first touchdown of 1990, and he's getting an opportunity to start in the backfield today, and it just appears to me as though the Saskatchewan linebackers have said, hey, we're going to forget about those running backs, and if you want to throw to them, we're going to give it to you. At that time, Souls and Marshall made the key catches to get the touchdown drive.
Ray McAreedy's convert is good, and the Eskimos have the lead for the first time this afternoon. 7-6. Is the Eskimos leading the Roughriders 7-6 early in the second quarter. There's your pal, the toaster, Fred Williams, distinguished CFL veteran.
Mr. Devastation, as he calls it. He's got a whole bunch of names for his wrestling career in the offseason.
What was it, humongous?
He was humongous, Mr. Devastation. He is a very, very funny guy. He's going to be on Make Leaf Laugh the last game of the season when we're in Calgary. I've given him 3 weeks to get ready and try and memorize a funny story for him.
He'll be standing in front of the mirror practicing. His little speech for Make Leaf Laugh. Make Leaf Laugh.
He will do a good job, I guarantee it.
Eskimos an impressive march to take the lead. Short touchdown toss to Michael Soles. It is 7-6. Edmonton leading Saskatchewan. Both teams have scored their points with the win. On the return for the Roughriders this time is Albert Brown. He ran out of field just near the 40-yard line.
Well, the Eskimos told us they wanted to use their running backs more, and they certainly did. They threw to Blake Marshall, and then they passed to Michael Soles for the touchdown. The first time they had the ball with a win, the Eskimos scored the touchdown to take the lead.
Well, I think the key number right there is the 11 plays. I mean, you think of the Eskimos as explosive, but that's a real ball control drive right there.
Bentrim looked to the far side for Don Narcisse. No catch. Bentrim has only completed one for 13 yards so far. Jeff Bentrim has been around the Rough Rider organization for a year or two, but he really hasn't had much playing time. Last year, of course, it was Tom Burgess in Kent Austin.
Last year, he spent most of his time being the slot back and returning punts and doing everything but play quarterback.
From the 36, 2nd and 10 Rough Riders. Intended that one for Slater Zaleski, number 84.
Well, let's check in on the old matchup there with Francis and Narcisse, and say that's pretty tight coverage.
Narcisse did get open. The ball went the other way. Might have been a little late getting open because of Mr. Francis that time. Mike Lozecki into the wind for the first time. Todd Smith is deep for the Eskimos. Not too deep. Good kick into the breeze. Smith on the return for Edmonton. And he went nowhere. Paul Bushy, an outstanding job to get upfield and surround Todd Smith. So there was little return.
Well, Mike Lozecki from the University of Saskatchewan Huskies, so kicking in a stiff breeze is not a problem for him. He's kind of used to that. That was a 43-yarder, only a 2-yard return, and boy, into a stiff wind like that, when you net 41, your kicker and your cover team has done one heck of a job.
Tracy Ham holding a hot hand for the Eskimos. 1st and 10 Edmonton. At the 37. And Marshall had nowhere to go. Dan Rasevich. He's had a pretty good afternoon. Rasevich, number 74. Leads the Rough Riders in tackles so far this season.
66 times. That would be number 67. Dan Rasevich, the leader on the club.
2nd and 9. And this is Michael Soles, who has a first down for the Eskimos, crossing midfield and into the Saskatchewan 54-yard line. 20-yard game. Good call by Tracy Ham.
Well, I think Tracy Ham will just stick with this. I mean, on the last touchdown drive, this was a big part of the drive, throwing to the backs out of the backfield. And unless Saskatchewan will come up and force the issue a little tighter, I think Tracy Ham can just go down the field with that same style of offense.
Good fake by Ham on first down this time. Marshall makes the catch and fell in making that reception. He gained a couple of yards only, but there was a little more running room there had he been able to stay on his feet. (7-6) the Eskimos lead the Rough Riders. This is 2nd and 8. And to the far side. Almost picked off. Albert Brown covering on Keith Wright.
Albert Brown was waiting in the weeds out there. You know, he gave that illusion that, hey, I'm going to give this Keith Wright a lot of room, and that's what Tracy Ham thought too, as he threw this to the wide side of the field. Now that ball is up there a long time, but watch the quickness. Albert Brown breaks on the football and almost has the interception. That was a pretty good play.
Could have had that, and had he made the catch, it would have been downtown Brown. He was gone, wasn't he?
He would have been.
With the win, good kick. Orville Lee has no play and lets it trickle through the end zone. Smart move, I think.
Absolutely. Give up the single. We're only in the second quarter. Take it to the 35 and let your offense have some breathing room to start their drive. See, McReady's shaking his head like he didn't want to give up a single there.
Ray McReady gets a 71-yard single. And watching from the sidelines. The Eskimos have the lead by 2 at Taylor Field this afternoon.
Roger Aldag, the 15-year veteran who has played 231 consecutive games, has a tough assignment this afternoon against Brett Williams. And we talked to him about that.
Brett's been around the league a long time. He's a super nose guard. Just the fact that we got to be... He's probably the toughest against the run. He's really tough against the run, and also with his pass lanes, he goes out of his lane to get to the quarterback, and he's got a ferocious rush, as we all know, and he never gives up. That's the biggest thing about Brent Williams. You can think you have him blocked, and then it ends up you don't have him blocked, because you just got to stay on your block to the whistle.
That's the longest Roger has ever talked in his life.
So even his Shenley acceptance speeches were shorter than that.
That's right.
This is Lucius Floyd, and there is not much running room for Lucius Floyd as Brett Williams is over to make the tackle. Roger Aldag turned 37 just last week.
Oh, young. He's young. But, you know, that's just what we were talking about with Roger. And there they having a little chat, the two guys before the game. Trust me, folks, that was staged. They liked each other. But he said Brett Williams is tough against the run, and he was on that last play. He made the stop for only a 1-yard gain.
On 2nd and 9, Jeff Bentram is down. Danny Bass was there. And so was Leroy Blue. Who gets credit for that sack? Do they share that one, or does Blue get it?
We're going to have a look right now and see who gets credit for it. But they are putting a little extra pressure now on Jeff Bentram. I think Danny Bass will get the sack. He was the first one there. But, you know, with the two inside receivers out for Saskatchewan, Fairholm and Elgard, it really has, I think, changed the defensive strategy of Edmonton. They are right up on the line of scrimmage. They're jamming the inside guys, and you know, Jeff Bentram is not getting a lot of time to throw. I think they're going to be in for a long afternoon if they can't get some kind of running game generated to take the heat off the passing game.
Mike Lozecki into a stiff breeze, and this punt does not go as far as his previous kick. Todd Smith on the return, and Smith ran right into Jeff Treflin.
See, Treflin's only 5'8", 170 pounds, and you know, you could see from Smith there, he didn't even see him. He just kind of snuck up from low on the ground and made that tackle. There's old Jeff. Back up, defensive back. He returns some punts and kickoffs occasionally. That is our score with the Edmonton Eskimos in the second quarter. The wind at their backs, a 2-point lead.
Tracy Ham has been very effective. The passing game in particular. Michael Souls. And a loose ball. The Roughriders look to have recovered it. And that's the indication. John Hoffman comes up with a loose ball. Number 19. First turnover of the afternoon. It goes in favor of the Roughriders.
Well, you're going to get a good look as Michael Souls cuts back right here. He is hit by number 99, Chuck Klingbill. And eventually the ball will come loose. John Hoffman, who is in the ball game replacing the injured Richie Hall, comes up with a recovery. There you'll see Hoffman 19 moving into the middle of your screen. The ball comes loose on the way down. The Saskatchewan Roughriders get a break.
And begin right at midfield with a first down. Bentram has an opportunity to run and is close to a first down. At the 46, Danny Bass was over to pin the Saskatchewan quarterback.
Smart play by Jeff Bentram. He has to take control of this game offensively himself. His numbers have been abysmal passing, and I suggest that they have to get some kind of running game going, and whether he does it himself, it doesn't really matter, but this is the kind of thing he will have to do time and time again.
Second down, and 1 to go for Bentram and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. At the Eskimos 46, Bentram will throw, floats it over the middle, and Floyd makes the catch, or does he? Lost it coming down. No catch. Floyd is arguing down there. What he has to complain about, he was...
Well, you know, he's arguing that he made the catch and then the ground caused the fumble. Well, what a great call on 2nd and 1. And Jeff Bentram couldn't have thrown this ball any better. Put it right in there. Now he's got no argument there.
I wouldn't think he'd want to argue that.
No.
The other way, if they'd ruled the other way that it was a catch and a fumble, the Eskimos would have had their first turnover of the afternoon.
I agree with you.
3rd and 1. And that should be a first down as Bentrim holds on.
Well, I like the style of Jeff Bentrim, though. 2nd and 1, and try and hit one down the middle for the big play, and he didn't get it, but I like the intent.
On Saskatchewan, 6:21 till halftime, with the Roughriders trailing the Eskimos by 2. Some numbers passing have been impressive this afternoon. Motion Jones, who's been bothered by the flu bug this week. Leroy Blue to make the tackle on Jones that time. Saskatchewan team just a little bit different without Ray Elgard and Jeff Fairholm running their pass patterns. Fairholm has been injured most of the season, off and on, with a hamstring problem, and Elgard went down last week. Bentrim on 2nd down. Harris makes the catch, but he stopped well short of the first down. 3-yard gain. Keith Gooch made the tackle.
2 corners for the Edmonton Eskimos, Keith Gooch and Andre Francis, both playing really well here in the first half. Gooch all over Greg Harris on that play, only a 4-yard gain, well short of the first down. Keith Gooch, of course, coming over as a free agent for the Edmonton Eskimos from the BC Lions, where he played for so many years.
3rd and 7 here. Would they think fake at this point?
Oh, I'd like to see them pin him deep.
Good kick. Taken inside the 5 by Todd Smith. And his return limited to a couple of yards. Again, Dan Rasevich leading the Saskatchewan tacklers. So 5:17 to go till halftime. A 40-yard kick pins the Eskimos deep in their zone.
You take the middle of October, we'll take a little breezy to have it +6. I know I will.
Nice day.
It certainly is. You know, we talk about these two teams, and everybody talks about offense. Tracy Ham, the numbers he's had, he's thrown 34 touchdown passes. You talk about Kent Austin and all the great offense Saskatchewan. But what we sometimes overlook is both these teams rank 1 and 2 in the league in defense. I mean, they have some great defensive personnel on the field. So you get a game like this where it's 8-6. I don't think you take too many chances. The coaches are thinking, one break may decide this game, so let's play it close to the best because we have the great defense.
Blake Marshall, and the Rough Rider defense has been stingy against the run this afternoon. Once more, the evidence is there.
Well, they're 2nd in the league against the run. Edmonton is 1st against the league in the run.
Saskatchewan actually has allowed fewest yards total on the season.
That's an interesting matchup. You know, you look at Edmonton, they lead the league in running the football. Now, that was with Reggie Taylor in there. That wasn't with Michael Souls and Blake Marshall. And I think over the next few games, they're really going to have to evaluate how well they're going to be able to run the football the way they are personnel-wise.
Ham on 2nd and 9 for Craig Ellis. He is off target. Ellis has only 1 catch this afternoon. I do believe 4:32 to a half. So the Rough Rider defense gets the job done.
Well, they're doing things well this afternoon. Mike Lozecki with a great punt, no return. Now, stuff the run and then good coverage. And you hopefully get the ball back in some decent field position. And let's remember that Saskatchewan's going into the win. So, I mean, this is all bonus time for them.
Ray McAreedy will boot with the win from 10 yards deep in his end zone. Yes, it's Regina, folks. Deep kick as Orville Lee heads straight up the middle. What a great return to set the Rough Riders up at the 35.
Well, the return guys did a great job for Orville Lee. They held up everybody at the line of scrimmage and really worked their hardest not to let the Eskimo cover guys downfield. Not much of a return setup, but when you hold those guys up front, you know, Orville Lee can run and get 15, 20 yards before anybody gets to him, and that was the case.
Exactly. 20 yards on the return.
Good guess, wasn't it?
Not bad at all. Rough Riders with a first down at the Eskimo 35. Saskatchewan trailing 8-6. Bentrim in some trouble. Big pursuits, and he is dragged down for a big loss. Leroy Blue made the stop on Jeff Bentrim.
Well, Leroy better give half of that sack to Larry Ruck, the linebacker, because they wanted to run the screen to Lucius Floyd, and you'll see Bentrim looking for him right here, but he can't throw it to him because Larry Ruck is right in his hip pocket. That allows the speed of Leroy Blue, second-year defensive end for Bishops, to come in and get his first sack of the year. Took a while, but Leroy got it.
Had a good game against the Tiger Cats last week. 5 tackles for Leroy Blue. This is now 2nd and 20. And there is nowhere for Milson Jones to go. Dan Bass was waiting for him. Play take a little time to develop, or was Bass just guessing completely right?
Well, Danny Bass has always been a bit of a freelancer in the middle. He'll take some chances, and when it's 2nd and long like that, he did maybe guess right, and he made a great play. So far, the teams are playing it close to the vest. 2nd and long, Ventrum deciding not to throw the football, and the way Mike Lozecki is punting, I guess that's the thinking. Try and pin them deep and let our defense play.
3-minute warning is up at Taylor Field in Regina, where the Eskimos lead the hometown Roughriders by 2. We'll be back to wrap up the first half in just a moment.
18. Section 44.
Mike Lozecki for Saskatchewan on 3rd down. Into the breeze. Decent kick. Todd Smith. Flag goes down. I thought the Roughriders were trying to back away from Smith there. Not much of a return for Smith anyway, so the penalty won't hurt a whole bunch, I suppose.
No yards. Saskatchewan number 39, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Well, just a 5-yard penalty, so that's not all that bad considering where the Eskimos begin from. Inside the 25 with 2:33 to go. On 1st down, Larry Willis is wide open, and Hand just overthrows him. Not by much, Lou.
Well, Albert Brown is lucky. Larry Willis gave him a bit of a stutter step after he went downfield about 15 yards. Albert Brown thought he was breaking to the out pattern, and he just kept on going. Tracy Ham throws it about as far as he can throw it, and it just misses.
I think he aired that one out about 67 yards.
He can gun it.
It'll be 2nd down, Eskimos. Edmonton beginning this drive from the 23. And Hand will throw again. This time look for Blake Marshall, and Marshall turned around. He was hit by Dave Albright.
Well, that's what they had to do, come up and challenge those backs out of the backfield and play them a little tighter. They were getting hurt by it in the middle of the 2nd quarter, but David Albright did a nice job there, and the defense, which has played really well except for one drive here in this first half, will get the football back for their offense, and with 2:21 remaining, try and give Jeff Ventrum an opportunity to untrack his offense and get the points.
Good kick with a breeze for McEready. Bouncing for Orville Lee. A little confusion down there between Lee and Albert Brown as to who was going to take it. Leroy Blue leading the tacklers.
Well, what a job Leroy Blue did to get all the way downfield and make that play. I think Orville Lee thought Albert Brown was going to catch it, and then the two of them did the old after you play. And
yeah, the old baseball play. You take it. No, I got it.
Yeah, that's some precious yardage right there. Leroy Blue with a great tackle down there, along with number 9, Jim Yock.
Well, big kick pins Saskatchewan deep in the Rough Rider zone. 67-yard punt. Ventrum starts from his 18. Time to throw it. Slater Zaleski makes the catch. And he's halfway to a first down in front of Enos Jackson.
They're rotating the 3 slot backs now. David Pitcher, Bruce Boyko, and Slater Zaleski. None of the 3 really with a great deal of experience, but what a great time, though, an opportunity. You know your 2 good guys, Fairholm and Elgard, are going to be back in the lineup. Now you can find out a few things about the younger players, and if you have to use them come playoff time, you will have some experience.
This is Floyd. A good effort, but not enough yardage. Appeared to be stopped and then grabbed a yard after that.
Pretty much with happened to Saskatchewan last year, wasn't it? They were really a beaten-up football team, but they got everybody healthy for the playoffs. They finished third and, of course, went into Calgary and won, went into Edmonton and won, and won the Grey Cup. So I'm sure they're looking at it this way again this year. Get the guys healthy.
1:45 to go till halftime. Bit of a charge and not a deep kick. Eskimos should get good field position out of this. Smith can't get a return. Ball trickles out at the 51. 25-yard punt, no return. And another fine crowd at Taylor Field. 27,423 here today. First down, Eskimos. Good fake by hand and time to throw. Willis lost the ball. Now, did they call that a catch? The Roughriders came up with a football. It is a catch and a fumble. Second turnover against the Eskimos.
Larry Held comes up with a fumble recovery. Good pass pattern. Larry Willis all the way from the backside across the field. Now he makes the catch. No question about that. There's the tackle. And the second turnover of the afternoon for the Eskimos. Both fumbles. Mike Souls with a fumble earlier, and now Larry Willis. And that's the turnover story.
First and 10, Saskatchewan. They're all 2 up.
Saskatchewan at the 36. Benjamin in tight coverage. Don Narcisse, good catch. He was surrounded. How did he make it?
Well, he's a great one, and if you remember when Andre Francis commented on playing against Don Narcisse, he said, he is the kind of guy that will make the circus catch on me occasionally, and that's exactly what that one was.
From the shotgun, Roughriders in a hurry-up offense. Wilson Jones makes the catch and grabs a couple of yards. Stopped by number 30, Danny Bass.
A nice move just as he caught the football to get away from Jeff Braswell. And into the hurry-up offense, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders, although they're going into this strong wind, they would like to try and capture the lead before halftime is up.
Benson lost the ball and lost yardage. It was a tough break. Third. It was second and 1. Now flips to third and about 9.
The Toaster will get credit for the sack on that play.
Zecki steps across the 40 to get this one away. Into the breeze. Todd Smith has it on a bounce, and the flag comes down.
No yards. Saskatchewan number 15. First down.
Second quarter, Edmonton scored 1 touchdown. Saskatchewan, all their points coming with field goals in the first quarter with the win, but I'll give a lot of credit to the defenses on the field this afternoon.
And Tracy Ham escaping for a first down. Eddie Lowe forcing him out at the far side. A 20-yard scamper.
Well, I think defensively, the Saskatchewan thinking here has to be there's 32 seconds remaining. Let's not give up the touchdown. I mean, let's not let anybody get in behind us, and if the worst thing we do is give up a McAreedy field goal, hey, that's fine. Tracy Ham with a good run to the outside. Outside shot, we talked about that, of maybe 1,000 yards this year. He's got about 830 right now, so I mean, it is a probability.
First and 10, Eskimos at the 45. 30 seconds remaining in the half. And Ham on the run again. Hit hard and stopped short of a first down. Richie Hall over to make the stop. And Dave Albright was there as well.
That's good defense. They had Keith Wright streaking down the field, and I know Tracy Ham wanted to go for the big one, but Stacey Harrison, the newcomer in the corner, was right with him, not letting him get in behind, forced Ham to run. Now, I mean, the worst thing that can happen is a field goal. I mean, that's not earth-shattering. It doesn't bother you.
This is Blake Marshall. Tough guy to bring down, and he has the first down. A gain of 7 yards. Now 17 seconds to go.
Moves Glenn Suter to the halfback spot.
Flag is down. His hand goes to the far side. Willis has the catch, but let's see what the penalty is all about.
Well, there's 8 seconds.
Edmonton number 81. First down repeated.
8 seconds remaining, possibly chance for 2 plays, but they decide to go safe one and bring McAreedy. And there's Richie Hall. He has had a tough first half and tried to get back in the lineup, but he was unable to do it.
What should be the final play of the opening half? 43-yard field goal for Ray McAreedy. And he is wide. Brown will try and get it out. He's out. And that'll be the opening half. Wide field goal try ends it. And Albert Brown gets it out of the end zone. So no point there. Still a 2-point ball game. The Eskimos head to the dressing room, leading the Roughriders 8-6.
Look at these statistics. You would think the Edmonton Eskimos would have a wide margin in the ball game. 199 total yards to just 85 for Saskatchewan. But perhaps the key stat for the Eskimos, 2 turnovers, and that's probably the reason they only scored the 1 touchdown in the first half. They did control the ball, and they played well into the wind. But Saskatchewan begins the second half with the wind at their backs as we prepare to get things going.
The halftime result, 8-6. Favors the Eskimos. Third quarter about to begin. He awaits the Edmonton kickoff. To a breeze. This one is not going very deep at the 40-yard line. It is taken. To tell who made the run back that time. Paul Bushy, number 25.
I almost think it's better into this strong wind to just kick it on the ground as hard as you can. Don't put it up in the air, but Paul Bushy did a nice job. You know, the Edmonton cover team was pretty close to getting that thing themselves. The numbers on Bentram, not very impressive in that first half, and he will have to have a good third quarter here. They trail by 2, and they have the wind, and he has to take advantage of that.
And the Roughriders have great field position beginning at the 52. This is Bentram, and he's on the move. On target for Don Narcisse.
It's a good style for a receiver like Narcisse is to have the quarterback roll out. That gives him just a little bit of extra time to work the defensive back. And against Andre Francis, you really have to take him deep and then bring it back to the sidelines on those out patterns if you want to get away from him.
15-yard gain for the Roughriders. First down now at the Eskimo 44. Riders with a win to start the third quarter. And this is Lucius Floyd. Grabbed by Dan Bass.
Well, we talked with Roger Aldag before the game about his matchup with Williams, and he said the best thing he does is make tackles on the running game, and that time he just came to the outside. The toaster, we think of him as a pass rusher, but boy, he can play the run tough too.
Gain of 1, 2nd and 9, Saskatchewan. 43 now. Benson, time to throw, looks deep for Narcisse, and he's overthrown. Mathis covering on Don Narcisse that time.
Well, they changed the coverage up a little bit on Narcisse. They rolled up Andre Francis, the corner, who took him in the short flat, and then Mark Mathis picked him up a little deeper. It looked as though initially that Narcisse was wide open, but the illusion of the zone coverage, Mark Mathis right there had the ball been on target.
Enter Dave Ridgway. For the 49-yard field goal try, he's good on 2 of 2 so far today. 49 and 47, and this one is good as well as Ridgway has another perfect day going. He's 3 for 3, and the Roughriders are in the lead by a point. Well, the Roughriders are back in the lead, 9-8. Eskimos have a first down. Ham made the fake work and goes to his right. Tracy Ham better than halfway to a first down. Forced out by Dave Albright just across the 40-yard line. Tracy Ham, a great running quarterback. 809 yards on the season coming into today's game.
Yeah, it's some pretty good numbers in the first half as well. 12 of 17, 130 yards, and that 1 touchdown pass to Michael Souls. So he did have some success. It didn't really reflect on the scoreboard, only scoring 8 points. His rushing, though, always a factor. Overseas 6 carries, 51 yards, pretty nice average, over 8. Just about what he's done on the season, 8.1.
On 2nd and 5, Ham will throw, and Blake Marshall is open for the first down. Albert Brown made the tackle, and Marshall down. That's a bit of a mismatch. Brown went about it in a smart manner. 8-yard gain for Blake Marshall.
Well, Saskatchewan defense, which is ranked #1 in the CFL, really, it is a tough third quarter for them now. They don't want to let Edmonton get into that ball control style of offense that they can do to you. I mean, they're going into the wind. You want to force them to give it up in a hurry.
Michael Souls across midfield. Stopped by Vince Goldsmith. Gain of 7 for Michael Souls here.
Michael Souls picked in the first round by the Edmonton Eskimos in 1989. A lot of people thought, boy, with Blake Marshall and Chris Johnstone, why would you take another running back? Well, this is the reason, you know, for depth down the road, and he's getting the chance to start, and he's doing a good job this afternoon.
Early movement, flags do come down. Souls again, and he is stopped short of a first down on 2nd and 3.
Saskatchewan 79, 2nd down repeated.
He said 2nd down repeated, but it is an automatic first down.
Well, there you can see the footwork just above Chuck Klingbeil there. Gary Lewis offside.
Tracy Ham on first down. Man open. That's Keith Wright, and Wright is grabbed from behind, short of the first down. Dave Albright over to make the tackle. 8-yard gain.
What a nice job he did coming back into the hole in the zone coverage. Keith Wright, number 71, who's having a pretty good year for the Eskimos. Watch, he comes right back in between the linebackers. That's a great catch. Glenn Suter out playing in the inside safety spot, just could not squeeze the zone down enough.
Almost 50 yards in the afternoon for Keith Wright. Roughriders in the lead of the Eskimos, 9-8. This is 2nd and 2. Michael Souls has the first down, and yards to spare as he crosses the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. 14-yard gain for Michael Souls.
Well, exactly what the Saskatchewan Roughriders didn't want. With the wind at their backs, the idea of Edmonton just driving the ball down their throat must really bother them. Michael Souls initially gets away from Vince Goldsmith, and a good hard run here. 14 yards, breaks some tackles. They know the importance of keeping this ball on the ground, chewing the clock up, and they know in the fourth quarter they will have the wind. Or if they could ever go into that fourth quarter with a lead, oh boy, they'd be in the driver's seat.
Now, there was a penalty flag on the play. Unnecessary roughness, a major foul after the first down against the Eskimos. Number 50, Blake Dermott.
42, Saskatchewan. First down.
So the Eskimos do have a first down, but the ball is moved back to the 42 as a result of the major infraction. Ham over the middle. Todd Smith should have made the catch.
Can't throw it any better than that, and Tracy Ham has had no difficulty this afternoon throwing into this wind. Good tight spiral, and it cuts through the wind rather easily, but Todd Smith did everything right. Good hook pattern, came back to the quarterback. Just couldn't hang on to it.
Tracy Ham good on 14 of 20. 146 yards.
He has been very workmanlike this afternoon directing this Edmonton offense.
On 2nd down, Ham rolls to his right. He'll get a first down as he crosses the 30 and stumbles to about the 25. Looked like he was going to run all the way.
Well, you know, they were coming with the safety blitz, number 27, Glenn Suter, up on the line of scrimmage, and you watch to the right side of your screen. They pin him to the inside. A good job by Blake Marshall, and that allows Tracy Ham, recognizing that blitz, to get to the outside and use his running ability to pick up that first down and keep this very impressive drive going.
1st and 10 Eskimos from the 28. Michael Souls once more. He ran into a bunch of Saskatchewan Roughriders. Chuck Klingbeil was there.
I would think there's a little steam coming out from underneath the collar of John Gregory. He knows that this really hurts his chances with Edmonton eating up the clock in the third quarter into the wind. So Joe Farragelli, on the other hand, he must be quite pleased with the way his offense has performed, and they have put together a number of plays on this drive so far.
This is 2nd and 7 in a 10-play Eskimo drive. Ham hit as he throws, and it is picked out. Dan Rasevich, number 74. Great run after the interception. Rasevich was deep on pass coverage. And saved the Roughriders bacon here. The Eskimos were moving the ball effectively. Third turnover going against Edmonton. Rasevich is just winded or what here? It was a long run.
He did a lot of running. I mean, he had to go back in his pass coverage and search around and find that tip ball and then do a lot of running after that. Keith Wright has an opportunity to make the catch right there. Kind of short arms it a touch, and he tips it into the hands of Dan Rasevich, and he only waited 15 games to get his first interception of the year, and what a big one it was as they snuff out an Edmonton scoring drive and gives the ball back to his offense.
What a great run for Dan Rasevich. 24-yard return on the interception, third turnover going against the Edmonton Eskimos. The Roughriders continue to lead. Rasevich slightly shaken up on the play and will continue. Taylor Field, just a moment.
When we last left Richie Hall, he was leaving the field. No, it wasn't the bruised chest he suffered earlier. He twisted his ankle. Richie's having a tough day, but says he can come back and play here in the second half.
I never worried about the size of Richie Hall's heart. He is one of the toughest little guys to play in this game, and I'm sure Gord's right. He will probably be back in the lineup.
5'6", 160 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Soaking wet. 8-year CFL veteran, 3 years with the Roughriders.
Well, he's having one of his best years ever, too. 6 interceptions after 14 games.
And on the turnover, the Roughriders have a first down, beginning at the 31. Jeff Bentram. Looking for Lucius Floyd. He's got him. And Floyd is gone. 78 yards. Lucius Floyd doing cartwheels in the end zone. 78. A 78-yard touchdown. They must have been setting that up for a while, Leaf.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted, and the Saskatchewan finds that Taylor Field finally have something to cheer about this afternoon. Jeff Bentram paid the price. Watch the hit he is going to take as he unloads the football right there. But the matchup on Jeff Braswell, no contest in the speed factor. You know, Lucius Floyd sat out last week. They tried to get Timmy McRae back into the lineup. It just didn't work out that way. And Floyd back in. He is an excellent receiver, as you saw right there out of the backfield. And that 78-yard touchdown has these fans pretty excited here at Taylor Field.
7:56 to play, third quarter. David Ridgway adds to the Roughrider total.
I think it's interesting to note that that is the 4th touchdown through the air by Lucius Floyd this year, and he's still looking for his first on the ground. So his pass receiving abilities much appreciated by the quarterbacks in Saskatchewan, and Jeff Bentram gets his 5th touchdown pass of the year.
Things are going well for the Roughriders in the third quarter as they go against the wind. A turnover, and one play later, the 79-yard strike from Jeff Bentram to Lucius Floyd.
He paid the price, too. He took a tremendous hit right in the face from number 36, Stuart Hill, but the quarterbacks really earn their salaries when they have to stand in that pocket. They know the hit's coming, but I guess it makes it all worthwhile when you see that at the end of the throw.
And we'll give him 6.2.
That's a round off to a backflip. I know my gymnastics.
Used to be a gymnast?
Sure.
See you guys after we win the Grey Cup. Sometime in November.
November 25th. It's Grey Cup.
This is Todd Smith on the return for the Eskimos. Irish special teams have done a pretty good job in keeping the Eskimo returns down so far this afternoon. That's out at the 35.
Well, both teams have been trying to put together long scoring drives. The Riders abandoned it, went one play, 78 yards, and that's given them the 8-point lead.
Oh, yeah, like Edmonton's scoring drive was 10 plays. I mean, that's too long. We like them like this one right here. One play, 78, get it over with. Takes a 6, have a rest.
Nice pass from Bentram. He was right on target for Lucius Floyd. See what the Eskimos can do now with a first down at the 35. Lots of time, 7:33 to play. Third quarter. Tracy Ham has had a great afternoon. In trouble. And he fired out of bounds. Vince Goldsmith was in his face.
Vince Goldsmith's done a pretty good job all afternoon at keeping containment on Tracy Ham and not allowing him to get to the outside. And he's gotten to the outside a few times, but nothing that's really It's been damaging to that Saskatchewan defense. And you know what? I lied. I do like 10-play drives. You know, I like the 10-play drive.
The Eskimos had a 10-play drive that ended in an interception by Rasevich that in turn ended in a touchdown for the Roughriders. 2nd and 10 Edmonton from the 35, and Tracy Ham for Craig Ellis. That is a first down. Eddie Lowe made the stop on Ellis. 13-yard gain.
Well, they're trying to confuse Tracy Ham a little bit. They blitzed from the short side of the field with Richie Hall, and yet they played a zone coverage to the wide side of the field. Now, man-to-man on the short side, zone on the front side, but Tracy Ham read it perfectly, caught Ellis in the hole in the zone, and he made another catch, as he's been doing all season long. What a fantastic year Craig Ellis has had. And to think, a couple of years ago, he was out of football.
1st and 10 Edmonton. Ellis once more, short of a first down this time, as he's brought down Wrights at midfield.
Richie Hall will be taking a couple of Tylenols. I think today he has had a tough one. Play action, Greg Ellis across. You see him just at the top of your screen. Now Tracy Ham will find him. He makes another catch.
That for a gain of 8. 2nd and 2. Michael Souls. Stopped by Eddie Lowe. He may not have the first down. See where they spot the ball. Souls slid it ahead a little bit, but see where the officials actually spot the football. A yard short. 3rd and 1. Saskatchewan leading 16-8. And Hall heads to the sidelines one more time. So Hoffman is in the backfield. 3rd and 1. Eskimos go gambling. And Blake Marshall might have been stopped. Dave Albright, number 39. Big hits. We'll see where they put the ball down. Boy, I'm not so sure they got it.
Well, the Saskatchewan Roughrider offense is coming out of the field, but I think you better hold on just for a second. They got a pretty good spot, and you see the surge by the Saskatchewan front four, and then it was the hit by number 39, Dave Albright, and well, he is the guy that has to make that play, and he did. And he kept him short. It wasn't even close. Wow, 4th turnover of the afternoon for the Saskatchewan defense, and there you see a smiling Dave Albright. He made the hit. What a hit it was.
He is a happy guy. Great hit. And lots to cheer about for the Rough Rider defense here at Taylor Field this afternoon. 5:17 to go, 3rd quarter. Saskatchewan gets another turnover. And the Rough Riders still lead 16-8. Here at the moment in Saskatchewan, David Olber.
Good hit. Good hit.
A top spot in the Western Division. The Calgary win today. Give Calgary a better opportunity, certainly. Here's Bentram. Wide open. Lucius Floyd once more. And Floyd gets inside the 20. Almost to the 15. 41-yard strike. Best combination of the day. Jeff Bentram and Lucius Floyd. 78-yard touchdown and 41 yards here.
Not bad. Back-to-back plays for Lucius Floyd. 119 yards and good style for Jeff Bentram. Gets him on the rollout. Then he doesn't have to worry about hands in his face from those rushing defensive linemen. And he picks out Lucius Floyd, who certainly knows what to do with it when he catches it. An excellent runner with the football.
1st and 10, Saskatchewan at the 17, and Bentram on target once more for Greg Harris on the far side. He is inside the 15.
Well, I tell you, I think Greg Harris is going to learn in a hurry. When you catch it way on the outside, stay out there. I mean, don't come back into the area where Danny Bass and Jeff Braswell are lurking. And make no mistake, the next time he catches that hitch pass, he's going to go the other way.
Long pass to gain 4 yards. 2nd and 6. 4:04 to play. 3rd quarter.
14.
Bentram almost intercepted. His receiver fell down, I believe. And who had the chance at the interception? Mark Norman.
And Mark Norman certainly knows how to pick off footballs. In 1986 with the UBC Thunderbirds as a cornerback, he had 10 of them in one season. I believe he had something like 6 for touchdowns too, but he should have had one right there. Bentram very fortunate that he didn't have that one picked off. Good job, Roger Aldag, following that matchup.
Dave Ridgway enters. Good from 24-37, and again here. So he's 4 for 4. 29, 47, 49 his previous field goals this afternoon. And that's a 21-yarder. Give the Roughriders a 19-8 lead on the Edmonton Eskimos.
A little frustrating when that happens. He's done a great job working into the wind and come away with nothing.
Michael Souls makes the catch. He's short of a first down.
Well, Dave Ridgway has just reached a milestone goal over 200 points. Only 7 players have ever scored more than 200 points in a year. Dave Ridgway has done it 3 times. The robo-kicker strikes again.
He is a good one, no question about that.
Right now he's on target for a new CFL record. A points record. This is 2nd and 9 for the Eskimos. Ham in some difficulty. Gets away. But he comes up well short of the first down. Jurison got him from behind at the 41. Albright was also there.
And he took a real shot for his efforts there. He will not get the first down, and pretty tough hits applied by Bobby Jurison and number 39, Dave Albright. You'll see him cut back in. It looks as though for a second he may have enough room to get that first down, but here they come, and he takes a pretty good shot. That's Saskatchewan defense. Boy, you have to be impressed with the way they have played this afternoon. They are living up to their billing as the #1 ranked defense in the league, no doubt about that.
And Ray McAreedy once more. The wind just got it away. Albert Brown. And Brown, decent return out to the 42. Good coverage by the Eskimos special teams. Tackle made by Norman, and the Saskatchewan Roughriders continue to hold the advantage. Jeff Bentrim and the Roughriders with a first down at the Saskatchewan 42. Bentrim down the near side for Don Narcisse. Valiant efforts. Narcisse drew a little coverage, a little close coverage on the play. He was not happy about it.
Well, right off the bat, then that bump and run coverage, Andre Francis really trying to be physical with Don Narcisse, and some bumping did occur all the way down the sidelines, and nothing called. Pretty nice range from Mark Norman to come all the way across from that middle safety spot to help out on that coverage.
2nd and 10 with 1:56 to go, 3rd quarter.
He is a tough one. Old Andre Francis, all-Canadian last year. And boy, week after week, he is always a tough one, one-on-one on the outside.
Bentrim for Boyko. And that'll be a first down by about a yard. His first catch of the afternoon, Bruce Boyko. Big shoes to fill in there as he fills in for injured Jeff Fairholm.
Well, there's the matchup we talked about this afternoon. Roger Aldag against the Toaster. They run a bit of a stunt, but he finally gets out there. You cannot fool the old KG veteran Aldag. He has seen that stunt 1,000 times. He probably sees it in his sleep.
15 years in the league, he has seen it. This is Lucius Floyd. And there's not much there. Also, a flag is down.
Holding, Saskatchewan number 62. Repeat the down.
That's the center, Mike Anderson. Oh, 62, I'm sorry, Mike Stevenson. So this will be 1st and 20. Roughriders pushed back to the 43 now. Almost picked off. The Slater Zaleski was the intended receiver. Coverage supplied by Mathis that time, number 13.
Well, pass incomplete, so the Toaster didn't lose anything on that exchange.
2nd and 20. Bentrim goes to the far side. Harris makes the catch. There's a flag down. And Harris is short of the first down.
Pass interference. Saskatchewan number 15. 2nd down repeated.
Well, 2nd down and 30 to go. 26 seconds to play, 3rd quarter. Got the wind. Is there a quick kick in the arsenal down there?
that call.
Picked up by Mathis. The intended receiver was Lucius Floyd. And a costly turnover. Wilson Jones makes the tackle. But Mathis has a big interception for the Edmonton Eskimos. A quick kick would have been the play.
Yeah, it would have been the play, but you know, I think sometimes, you know, you've got 2nd down and 30 yards to go. You've just got to eat the ball and bring your punter in and get away. Don't force it in, and really that ball was forced in downfield. Mark Mathis makes a nice break on the football. His 3rd interception. First time the Riders have turned the ball over this afternoon, and boy, could it ever be a costly one as the Edmonton Eskimos have it at the 31-yard line. Nice job by Mark Mathis.
The Eskimos will have the win after this play, the last of the 3rd quarter. Flags are down. A procedure call should go against the Eskimos. Blake Marshall, and another flag is down. We'll get the explanation.
Illegal procedure. Edmonton number 8 declined. Holding. Edmonton number 55. First down repeated.
And it'll be first down with 20 to go.
So Andrew McConnell, the right guard, gets called for the holding. So 1st and 20 in the last play, possibly at the 3rd quarter.
Barring penalty, it will be. Ham stands in and finds Ellis, and Ellis is close to a first down. The tackle made by Larry Hogue, and that should be the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-yard gain for the Eskimos, who threaten here now. As we head to the 4th quarter, Saskatchewan leads it 19-8. Well, the Saskatchewan Roughriders got what they needed, some points with the win in the 3rd quarter. Now, the Eskimos have the win, and we'll try and add to their total. It's 19-8. Saskatchewan leading the Eskimos. 1st and 10 Edmonton at the Saskatchewan 20. Let's see what Tracy Ham can do here. Ham can do it all. He has a first down. Nice sneaky move out of the backfield, Lee.
Well, it's the same old story. You know, when Tracy Ham breaks containment and gets to the outside, it puts just a tremendous amount of pressure on the defensive backs. You know, I mean, they say to themselves, when do we leave our guy and come up and try and tackle the quarterback? And although Keith Wright was open here, Tracy Ham didn't really have to throw it because he had so much running room in front of him. He was able to pick up a first down. And I know it's frustrating for those wide receivers, but, you know, in Ham's case, he took the sure thing, and that was to pick up a first down on his own.
16 yards for Tracy Ham on the previous play, 86 on the afternoon. Ham in some difficulty now. Can he get it away? Flag comes down. They will likely charge Tracy Ham with intentionally grounding.
Well, I don't know why they would, because Blake Marshall was the guy. He threw it at his feet, and
or a legal receiver. Sorry.
Well, let them sort it out, but I mean, he threw it to Blake Marshall. That's not grounding, in my opinion.
Grounding the football. Edmonton number 8. 2nd down.
I don't believe it. I mean, Vince Goldsmith will like it. The Rough Rider defense will like it. But you watch. I mean, Greg Marshall, number 22.
Not going to see Greg Marshall here.
Well, he's saying that he couldn't complete the pass, so he was just trying to avoid the sack. I mean, I know what the referees are thinking, but, boy, Marshall was close enough. That's a pretty critical call.
Loss of 8. 2nd and 18. Eskimos forced back to the Rough Rider 18, and a procedure call. Time count violation. Going against Edmonton. They like the last 2 calls at Taylor Field. Papa Joe doesn't like either one.
Number 8, 2nd down repeated.
Oh, I'm sure he'll look at the film tomorrow and think that grounding call shouldn't have been called. And then, of course, you hate to give up another 5 with just not getting the ball snapped in time. Critical play. You can see it on the face of John Gregory. You know, his team holds the lead, but Edmonton threatening as we start the 4th quarter.
2nd and goal to go from the 23. 2nd and 23. Touchdown. Craig Ellis. What a great play by Tracy Ham to find Craig Ellis with a 23-yard touchdown strike. The penalties did not matter. 19-14 now.
Craig Ellis is having an unbelievable year. This is his 17th touchdown catch, and you watch number 27, Glenn Suter. He's in perfect coverage. Watch, he goes for the interception, and the ball is just thrown high enough that he can't get to it. great concentration, and as he has been doing all season long, Craig Ellis not only makes the big play, but he makes the tough catch. I mean, that is a tough catch. You got the distraction in front of you. Give him full mark. 17th touchdown for Craig Ellis.
The convert is good. It is a 4-point ball game once more as the Eskimos come battling right back with the win early in the fourth quarter. 19-15. The Roughriders hang on to a 4-point lead.
The Eskimos overcome a couple of penalties, go 31 yards in 4 plays, and go to Craig Ellis for the 23-yard touchdown. Ellis, once again, the man the Eskimos rely on, and he's got him back in this football game.
Wind has been a major factor at Taylor Field here this afternoon. The team with the wind has scored
all the points.
All the points.
Yep.
And that bodes well for the Eskimos, who have the wind at their backs for the final quarter here. Overley on the return for Saskatchewan. Leroy Ballou.
Boy, that's the second great tackle he has made this afternoon on special teams. On a punt earlier, he raced downfield ahead of everybody else and made a good tackle on Orville Lee. And now watch again against Orville Lee. He knifes through the blocking, and look at that. I think his right arm's pretty strong.
He was an all-Canadian.
Stuck it out, and Lee fell down.
All-Canadian linebacker at Bishop. He is coming into his own in Canadian football. 1st and 10, Saskatchewan. The Riders begin this drive from the 33. Good fake by Bentrim. Does he get time to throw? Nobody gets time to run, and he'll have a first down. That was a great play by Jeff Bentrim. It didn't look like the room would be there for him, but somehow he comes up with 10 nifty yards and a Saskatchewan first down.
It really was a tremendous run. It looked as though he maybe was just going to head out of bounds, or at the last minute he cut inside, and Jeff Braswell picked up another 4. And going into the wind, I think you'll see that a few more times here in the fourth quarter.
Roughriders lead it 19-15. This is Milson Jones. Mike Walker is there, number 61. So is Stu Hill.
All the games that we've seen in Saskatchewan this year, this seems to be the time in the game where we're going to see Milson Jones a little more. He has the ability to come up with a big play at a crucial time, and we really haven't talked about him too much this afternoon. Mike Walker, 3 years in a row he's been an All-Canadian. Comes over to the Edmonton Eskimos as a free agent signing this year.
Gain of 3. This will be 2nd and 7, Saskatchewan. Bentrim. Slater Zaleski. He makes the catch in tight coverage, and that should be a first down. He was out to the 55 and forced back, so it should be a Saskatchewan first down, but if not, awfully close.
That's a good call by Jeff Bentrim. He's anticipating the blitz coming on 2nd and 6, and little quick post to the inside receiver. Quick hitter. Don't have to have a lot of good protection up front, and he's able to complete it. Slater Zaleski with the nice catch, and back-to-back first downs. Now Lucius Floyd is going to go down. He and Jeff Braswell got into a bit of a shouting match, and Braswell took a shot at him. I don't know if that was the result of this injury, but they had a little confrontation going after that play was over.
Lucius Floyd is not a happy guy with Jeff Braswell.
Well, you know, Braswell gave him a shot. Maybe that little hand or finger went through the face mask after the play was over.
11:43 to play. Fourth quarter at Taylor Field this afternoon. 1st and 10. Roughriders. Saskatchewan right at midfield. Here's Milson Jones. Leif Pedersen called it. Late in the game, give the ball to Jones.
Well, you know, it's really been the trademark so far this year, and so far this afternoon he has been used sparingly, and now in the fourth quarter it's usually Milson Jones' quarter to make some kind of big play for his offense. He did it a few weeks ago against the BC Lions to win that game. He did it in the opening game of the season against the Hamilton Tiger Cats with a last-minute touchdown. And now in the fourth quarter, when they desperately need a running game, Milson Jones on the quick trap makes a great run. And boy, you don't need much of a block on a quick hitting trap play like that, and he had just enough of a crease to get through. And although the numbers are not huge for his contribution this afternoon, that was a tremendously big play right there.
Now the Eskimos have been penalized for rough play. Andre Francis cost his team some substantial yardage. So on top of the Jones run, The Rough Riders get more yardage and have a first down at the 25. This is Orville Lee. Caught from behind by Mike Walker, number 61.
Okay. I'll tell you tonight, honey. Well, a bruised chest couldn't keep Richie Hall out. A twisted ankle couldn't keep him out. But a hip pointer, that'll keep him out. I asked Richie about it. He said, yeah, it's frustrating. And, oh, yeah, tell my wife I'm okay. I don't think she's going to believe him.
Alberta? Poor Richie. He has had a tough day. Still finds a way to sneak a little smile on that
Still
face.
smiling so well. He's a terrific individual. Second and 7. This is Orville Lee. Drop play to him. He gets to the 15. He'll be about a yard short of the first down. 10:22 to play, fourth quarter. The Rough Riders have a 4-point advantage. At 19 to 15, it is a long yard, indicated by Jeff Bentram. And if you're smart, you take the field goal here right now, don't you?
I think a very wise decision by John Gregory. Does not let the crowd influence his thinking at this point in time. That is about a yard and a half to go, and the 3 points will give them a 7-point cushion. I think that's the smart way to take it.
Dave Ridgway has been on 4 of 4 this afternoon. His longest 49. He's won a little chip shot from 23 yards away. Shooter holds. Ridgway is through. The robo-kicker. It looks so automatic every time he trots out onto the football field. 5 for 5 on this day, and the Rough Riders have a 22 to 15 lead on the visiting Eskimos. We are back live at Taylor Field, Regina. The Rough Riders in front of the Eskimos, 22 to 15. Should be a great finish. The Eskimos have the win for the final 10 minutes of this final quarter. Rough Riders kicking into the wind, and it comes up a little short, near the 30. On the return, Todd Smith. Smith has room to the far side. It's by Treflin. An excellent return for the Eskimos. Forced out by Boyko at last. 26-yard return. The Eskimos with great field position and a chance to move in for the tie. They trail by a touchdown.
I think Todd Smith made a great move here. Looked like he was maybe going to get trapped, but he has to give a little yardage to make some yardage. And once he's around Tsune Alakate, he uses some speed and has a nice return and a good spot for Tracy Ham and his offense to take over inside Saskatchewan territory.
A smart call by the Eskimos, calling for the kick out after the field goal into the wind. This is Michael Souls, and Souls very close to a first down. Stopped by Albert Brown. He'll likely have it.
Really haven't had much production from the running game this afternoon, but that was a beautifully executed play. Trevor Bowles, the right side tackle, pulls all the way around the left corner, leading Michael Souls upfield. Watch number 66. 280 pounds coming flying around that corner. He gets a little push there, a little block later. That's a nice running play.
And now Tracy Ham on the run. He tripped near the 40. In by Albright.
I think for the most part this afternoon, the Rough Riders have done a great job containing Tracy Ham. Hey, he's going to get his yardage on the ground. I mean, that's a given. You just can't contain him all day long, but he hasn't really hurt them with that run.
91 yards for Ham carrying the football. Here's another first down for Ham passing. Todd Smith makes the catch just inside the 30. A gain of 9.
You know, John, 91 yards for Tracy Ham sounds like a lot, but really they haven't been crucial yards. When he's been backed up and he's got them out of trouble and he hasn't scored a touchdown on the ground. So, you know, it sounds big, but it really hasn't been that much of a factor.
Michael Souls makes the catch. Michael Souls continues. He is down inside the 15. Another first down for the Eskimos. 8:01 to play, fourth quarter. Edmonton down by a touchdown to John Gregory's Saskatchewan Roughriders.
First down on the 14.
Tracy Ham's done a great job using his backside of the backfield today. A little circle pattern to Mike Souls. Watch Blake Marshall come across and get a block right there on Dave Albright. Boy, both backs working hard to help each other out.
Pressure on Ham. He looks to the end zone and fires for Keith Wright. Missed him by about 15 yards.
Well, Joe Farragilly knows that was a smart throw. He didn't have anybody open. Let's not take the sack. He didn't have any running lanes to run up into himself. Just throw it away. The worst thing that can happen is you have 2nd and 10.
From the Saskatchewan 14, 2nd and 10 Edmonton. Ham escapes again. Ham lost the ball. The Eskimos recover. Blake Dermott comes up.
But that cost him a first down. Buckner saw Ham was going to pick up the first down and be very close to it, but just at the end the ball comes loose. Here's Eddie Lowe. He gets the hand out, and then the good hit by 39 Dave Albright, the middle linebacker, and boy, they are fortunate. Blake Dermott was able to make that recovery, but the fumble does cause them not to be able to pick up the first down.
Well, for the Eskimos to win this thing this afternoon, they're going to need a field goal and a touchdown. They'll take the field goal now.
Nice drive, guys. Nice drive.
Close the gap, come back for the touchdown later. That is if the Saskatchewan Roughriders allow that.
But I think Joe Farragelli and Tracy Ham are also thinking, you know, maybe a touchdown and a field goal wins it, but with 6:43 remaining and Regina faced with the prospects of moving into the win, 3 field goals will win it in a hurry, and that's a lot of time. I mean, that's only 3 possessions, and I'm sure that will occur.
McEready for the Eskimos closes the gap. 22-18, 4-point ball game. It's been close all day. The key recovery by Blake Dermott there, because there were Rough Riders all around.
Well, it really was a big play. Interesting to see how Joe Farragelli handles this racism thing. He's always been a coach that kind of wanted to let things take care of themselves on his team, and interesting to see what happens this week when he addresses this so-called problem.
This is Orville Lee on the return for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. And Lee gets out across the 30 to about the 34. Posted earlier, there is talk in Edmonton in both newspapers today about problems in the Edmonton Eskimo dressing room. And the team today was really not commenting on the issue at all.
I don't really blame them. I mean, they have to think about playing a football game, not to accommodate the media on some kind of problem that people think they may have.
22-18, Saskatchewan leading the Eskimos. First down, Rough Riders. They begin this drive at the 33. This is Lucius Floyd on the draw. Westall makes the tackle. Just short of the 40-yard line. Congratulations to the Calgary Colts, Lee. They won the Prairie Division of the Junior Football Championships over the Rams last night. Colts 45-17 winners here at Taylor Field over the Regina Rams last evening. They'll await the BC Junior champs. And Floyd, a couple of nice moves, but he comes up a yard short.
What a great move he made on Enos Jackson at the point of attack. Jackson all alone looked like he had him dead. But Lucius Floyd with quick feet able to get away, and his knee touched down about 2 yards before that first down marker. The fans don't like it, but that's an accurate spot right there. And that will force the Saskatchewan Roughriders to give up the football.
He didn't get touched. 2 and out's all they need.
First punch into the win, fourth quarter for Lezecki. He stands at his 25. Todd Smith waits for it at his 35. Decent kick. Here's Smith on the return. Had a good one last time. It looks to get to the outside again. Nelson Jones makes a nice tackle. John Hoffman was also in on the tackle. Good coverage by the Roughriders. 36-yard kick and a 5-yard return. So the Eskimos have good field position for their next possession, trailing the Saskatchewan Roughriders by 4. Taylor Field today. 4:50 to go. The Eskimos trail by 4. Tracy Ham gets away. Almost intercepted. John Hoffman had a chance. Craig Ellis was the intended receiver, and it just slipped through the fingers.
Well, nice job by John Hoffman and backup getting a chance to play today with the injury to Richie Hall, but boy, would he have ever liked to have been able to squeeze the football there. Just couldn't come up with it. The good news is, though, he knocked it down and nobody else caught it.
4:32 to go. 2nd and 10 Eskimos. Back at the Edmonton 43. Pressure on Ham. He gets away. Picked off. Wayne Drinkwalder has the interception. And Ham was under terrific pressure. Looking at my list, that'll be Drinkwalder's first interception. He's had a couple of sacks. And got to play a little bit more today because Chuck Klingbeil was injured.
Well, Chuck Klingbeil had a broken toe, and we knew that Wayne Drinkwalder was going to get a chance to play a little bit. They're trying to set up the screen on Michael Souls, but he is right there with probably the biggest play of the afternoon for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, his interception.
Great hands and a great return. He'll be a happy guy. All right, here's Bedford, and here is Lucius Floyd, and Floyd almost got away. Danny Bass.
An interesting note about Wayne Drinkwalder being in the ball game. Klingbeil was in, took himself out. The coaches said, if you can't play, don't go back in. He didn't. Drinkwalder went in, and I guess the rest is Saskatchewan Roughrider history.
Well, you know, Gordy, he's had the flu all week, too. I mean, he's felt like a dog, but I think this interception will make him feel slightly better.
Gain of 6. This is 2nd and 4, and this is Milson Jones. He got through there somehow. I think he got a first down out of it. It looked like he was stopped, but he kept plugging through. And you brought up the name Milson Jones at exactly the right time about 15 minutes ago. He's a gamer. He comes on late in a lot of football games for the Roughriders.
He is a fourth-quarter player, a guy that you can always count on when you need a big play. Milson Jones is able to provide that throughout his career. Seems like the fourth quarter is the time that he likes to do it.
2:52 remaining. Saskatchewan with a first down at the Eskimos 16. Lucius Floyd is going nowhere. 22-18. Saskatchewan leading the Edmonton Eskimos with a 3-minute warning out on the field here in Regina. Roughriders have a chance to add a point or two here, and we'll be back right after this. Benfrom will carry himself. Benfrom comes up a yard short, I believe. Let's see where they spot the ball. He is awfully close to a first down, and that was run all the way for the quarterback, Jeff Benfrom.
That was a perfect style of offense for him. He had Roger Aldag, number 44, out in front, and no hesitation. The ball is tucked away, and he's looking strictly for that first down marker. The head down, and takes a pretty good hit from Danny Bass, but he is awfully close to that first down.
Happy for Jeff Benfrom today. Had a slow start. First half, he was having great difficulty completing any passes at all. He's come on in the second half. Third down. Less than a yard to go.
And they will gamble and go for it and try and bury the Edmonton Eskimos right now. I mean, you only have so many chances to try and put a team away in a game, and this might be the opportunity right here. If they can punch it in for a touchdown.
No touchdowns against the wind here today, right?
That's right. No. Well, actually, yeah, 3 points against the wind all afternoon. I think it's a good call by head coach John Gregory. Chance to eat up some more time on the clock, pick up a first down, and go for the touchdown, which they would love to have at this point.
2:13 to play. Fourth quarter. The Roughriders leading 22-18. The third down gamble is good. No flags anywhere. So the Roughriders keep the drive alive. Look back to the turnover. The interception by Wayne Drinkwalder to get the Roughriders into scoring position. And a couple of good plays since then. First and goal to go. Lucius Floyd is halfway to the goal. He's down to about the 2-yard line. Keep it on the ground from here on.
Well, they're sending the short yardage team in, so I suspect that will be the case. Gary Lewis and Bobby Jurison come in, and we'll go to a full house backfield with Milson Jones, Orville Lee, and Lucius Floyd. Might be a situation where John Gregory says, hey, it's second down with a couple to go, but we're going to play 3-down football, and try and punch it in.
Second and goal to go. Roughriders at the Eskimo 2. Touchdown! Milson Jones has the touchdown. He leads the Roughriders with rushing touchdowns. 9 on the season. Add one more. That's his number 10.
Pretty good blocking along the left side. Roger Aldag and Ken Moore, and it's 6 foot and 240 pounds. When you can get off the ground and up and over the pack, not too many guys are going to be able to stop you. Braswell has a chance, but Milson Jones just too strong and powers his way into the end zone.
By all rights, 240-pound guys shouldn't be able to fly.
That's a pretty good jump he made there.
And Dave Ridgway adds to the Roughrider total. Jones apparently shaken up on the touchdown. 29-18. There's your old pal Gaynor the Gopher.
Yeah, Gaynor's alive and kicking out here. He gets the free ride around the stadium.
A Saskatchewan legend, and speaking of which,
oh yeah,
Rough Rider football, Ron Lancaster celebrates a birthday today.
How many?
Number 5'2", according to his daughter Lana.
Well, he doesn't look a day over 51 with him.
So, grandson Mark and daughter Lana, along happy birthday greetings to Dad.
Now we might as well too.
We should too.
Sure.
It's a milestone.
52. Wow.
This is Todd Smith on the return for the Eskimos. Boyko, great special teams player. He's had a pretty good afternoon. Smith has had one decent return. They missed the gizmo a little bit on this kick return team for the Eskimos.
Boy, did they ever miss the gizmo, and he has a punctured lung. It's no word on when he will be back, if in fact he will be back this year. Well, you know, they're kicking into the wind. Anytime you keep a team inside the 35-yard line, you've done a great job. And boy, they start at the 30. That's an outstanding job by special teams of the Riders.
With a minute 17 to go, the Eskimos trailing 29-18. Keith Wright makes the catch. He's surrounded shortly after that. Hogue makes the stop. A minute 9 to go. The Eskimos in some difficulty at 29-18.
Saskatchewan put a bit of a pre-vet defense in. They're only rushing 3 down linemen now. They're taking out Wayne Brinkwaller. They bring in Jeff Trek on 21, so they've got 6 defensive backs in there right now for the secondary.
Todd Smith, that's his second catch of the day.
You know, Saskatchewan knows that Edmonton needs a couple of scores, and with 59 seconds remaining, they will be very content to give up those completions underneath the coverage and just not allow anybody to get in behind them deep. Not a happy group on the sidelines. A lot of turmoil being reported, and now facing the possibilities of losing 3 games in a row.
That does not happen to the Eskimo teams very often. This is Blake Marshall. And Marshall will have a first down easily with 53 seconds to go. 29-18, the Roughriders lead the Eskimos. And will take out himself. Not quite a first down. Brown makes the tackle, and I think he might have grabbed Ham's face mask as the flag is down. Tracy Ham has rushed for 104 so far this afternoon.
Danger foul. Face mask. Saskatchewan number 4. First down.
Now the visiting Eskimos have 25 first downs compared to 12 for the Roughriders. Turnovers a big part of the game. We'll look back on this one and think the interception by Drinkwater is perhaps being the turnaround for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. That led to a touchdown against the wind. The Eskimos are now running out of time with 40 seconds to go. Greg Ellis makes the catch. 35 seconds to go.
We have to give Tracy Ham a lot of credit. This is a very impressive hurry-up offense that he has engineered late in the ball game. He's run with it well. He's picked out his receivers well, and hold on to your head, folks. 35 seconds remaining. If he can get it in quickly.
He's down by 11 points, and Ham takes off himself. He scores the touchdown.
Well, the key thing now, I mean, everything is key for them, but touchdown now is only key if they can make the two-point convert, and that, of course, would decrease the Saskatchewan lead to 3 points. It's a great run here by Tracy Ham. He has done a good job running the football this afternoon. This is the first time that run has really paid off for him with a touchdown, his first of the day.
119 yards total for Tracy Ham along the ground. 26 seconds to go. Eskimos have enough time. They'll go for the two-point conversion here. Ham can't find anyone. Now to Keith Wright. Nice play by Glenn Suter. Keith Wright just about made the two-point conversion.
Well, it's not the end of the world for Joe Faragelli. I mean, they still will have an opportunity to try an onside kick and recover it and go in for a touchdown. Lots of time for Tracy Ham to try and pick out a receiver, but number 27, Glenn Suter, just makes an outstanding play coming over the top of Keith Wright. With 26 seconds remaining, if Edmonton is able to get it, they have a chance. If they don't, it would be all over.
The short kick. Out of bounds.
The way the wind was blowing, that was really going downwind, and it just, Ray McAreedy just sailed it. I mean, you're better off making sure it's 10 yards inside the sideline than kicking it out of bounds.
So the Roughriders have the option. They'll take the football, I would guess.
Oh, yeah. Really unfortunate.
Illegal kickoff. Edmonton number 4. Decline. First down.
That's a critical error by Ray McAreedy. You've got to make sure that that ball stays in the field of play to give you guys a chance. And sure, Joe Faragelli's telling them right now.
Radio block. Keys.
26 seconds to go. The Roughriders will be content to waste the remainder of the time on the scoreboard clock here today. I didn't think Saskatchewan had much of a hope here today. Being really truthful, you take out two great receivers and the #1 quarterback. Kent Austin has been on the sidelines watching. Ray Elgard, Jeff Fairholm did not even press. Jeff Bentram came on late in the game, got a couple of key plays, one touchdown, a great pass to Lucius Floyd for a 79-yard touchdown. And really, that turned things around for the Roughriders.
Well, I mean, I agree with you, John. I thought it was going to be uphill all day for the Riders. But you know, when you look back at this game, they didn't give the Edmonton Eskimos any big plays. Like Tracy Ham had over 100 yards rushing, but it really wasn't crucial. I mean, he had one touchdown run late in the game, but all the other yards he amassed, really never, you won't look back and say, oh, did he ever kill us with his running? And, you know, they didn't give up the big play on defense, and I really think that was the key this afternoon.
The Roughriders will be content to run out the final 3 seconds as Benson races around and surrenders at the 30-yard line. Well, Jeff Bentram has a win this afternoon. Pretty gutsy performance. Overall, he was able to run the football a little bit when necessary. 9-yard gain late in the game to set up a first down, or to set up a 3rd and 1 gamble deep in Eskimo territory, and that helped out a little bit as well, but it was a beautiful pass to Lucius Floyd.
Yeah, it really was. Like, he will not look back at this and say, hey, this was the greatest game I ever played as a quarterback, but the nice thing he did is he didn't beat himself. The one miscue he had was that interception by Mark Mathis, and fortunately for them, it didn't turn the game around, but I think he did enough good things, and you are right. That pass to Lucius Floyd was a huge touchdown and a pretty nice throw.
Well, our most valuable player comes from the defensive side of the ball. Not surprising, a critical third-quarter interception by linebacker Dan Rashovich to snuff out an Eskimo drive that seemed to be chewing up the clock and the Riders' chances in this ball game. So Dan Rashovich is our most valuable player in the ball game. Dan, things look bleak for this football team before the game. Without Ken Austin, without Ray Elgard, without all the injured people, defense played a big role in this win.
Well, it was probably one of our better defensive performances of the year. You know, we come up a lot. I think we came with a lot of big plays today, and seems later in the year now our defense is starting to gel together, and you know, especially with all the offensive injuries, it's you know, it's really helping out, getting us a playoff spot.
You seem to be the only team in the league that can continually contain Tracy Ham. How do you do it?
Well, I think we got a pretty good front four, and you know, we seem to mix things up pretty well, you know, and maybe he gets confused sometimes, you know, especially as you've seen later in the game, he tried scrambling with the ball more because, you know, he's getting frustrated because he wasn't able to throw it deep.
You seem to have them frustrated. They haven't won here since 1987. You seem to have their number in a lot of ways. It must make you feel pretty good that the best team in the West right now, you seem to own them.
Well, you know, I think our team gets up for playing Edmonton. I guess there's been a long-time rivalry, and, you know, we got a lot of character guys on this team, and, you know, we just know how to, we seem to get up for Edmonton and play hard.
Dan, I don't know if you know this yet, but the BC Lions were leading Calgary in the fourth quarter with Edmonton losing now. You guys still have a shot at first place.
Well, you know, it's a big thing, and, you know, we're excited about that. And, you know, it seems the last few weeks we haven't been able to win a game to get ourselves in second and get ourselves closer to first, but, you know, we put one together today.
Dan, thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot. I'd like to say hi to my mom, dad, Leanne, Lori, Warren, Grant.
Well, you ran out of time there. This final score from Taylor Field in Saskatchewan, the Riders 29, the Eskimos 24. Time now for the TSN Turning Point, brought to you by Firestone. It comes in the second half of play. The Eskimos down by 4 and driving. Wayne Drinkwalder, brought into the game to replace the injured Chuck Klingbeil, comes up with a key interception as the Riders snuff out an Eskimo drive and hand the Eskimos their third straight loss of the season. Once again, the statistical story, as it did throughout the game, looks good for the Edmonton Eskimos. 27 first downs to just 14 for the Riders, and 518 yards total to just 322 for Saskatchewan. Perhaps the key, though, for the Eskimos, those 5 turnovers, especially the 2 in the third quarter. The interception by Dan Rashovich, and then when the Riders turned the Eskimos away on 3rd and short at their own end of the field. An amazing performance by the Saskatchewan Roughrider defense, but credit too to the Saskatchewan offense. With Bentram in there replacing the injured Ken Austin and all the replacement people the Riders had in there, it was a truly amazing performance by a Saskatchewan team that desperately needed this victory.